Leonardo da Vinci was born on April 15, 1452, in Anciano, Italy, near Vinci, from which he takes his name. He was the illegitimate son of an important Florentine lawyer, Ser Piero da Vinci, and a peasant woman named Caterina. Leonardo was raised by his father and his father's family in Florence. Leonardo da Vinci was a true polymath, a person of wide-ranging knowledge and interests. He was a painter, sculptor, inventor, scientist, and anatomist. He is best known for his paintings, such as the Mona Lisa and the Last Supper. He also made significant contributions to the fields of anatomy, astronomy, botany, cartography, geology, and mathematics. Leonardo da Vinci died on May 2, 1519, in Amboise, France, at the age of 67. He is buried in the chapel of St. Hubert in Amboise. Leonardo da Vinci is considered one of the greatest painters of all time. He was also a brilliant inventor and scientist. His work has had a profound impact on art, science, and technology. Michelangelo was born on March 6, 1475, in Caprese, Italy, to Lodovico di Leonardo Buonarroti Simoni, an official in the household of the Medici family, and Francesca di Neri del Miniato. Michelangelo was the second of 5 sons. At the age of 13, Michelangelo was apprenticed to Domenico Ghirlandaio, a leading Florentine painter. In Ghirlandaio's workshop, Michelangelo learned the techniques of fresco painting, sculpture, and metalworking. Michelangelo is best known for his sculptures, which are characterized by their anatomical accuracy, emotional intensity, and technical virtuosity. Some of his most famous sculptures include the Pietà, David, and Moses, to name just a few. Michelangelo was also a talented architect. His most famous architectural work is the St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Michelangelo designed the dome of the basilica, which is one of the largest domes in the world. Michelangelo died on February 18, 1564, in Rome, Italy, at the age of 88. He is buried in the Church of Santa Croce in Florence. Michelangelo is considered one of the greatest artists of all time. His work has had a profound impact on art, architecture, and sculpture. He is a true Renaissance man, a master of many different art forms. Michelangelo's work continues to inspire people today. Vincent Willem van Gogh was born on March 30, 1853 in Groot-Zundert, in the predominantly Catholic province of North Brabant in the Netherlands. He was the oldest surviving child of Theodorus van Gogh, a minister of the Dutch Reformed Church, and his wife, Anna Cornelia Carbentus. Van Gogh's art career began in earnest in 1879 when he was 26 years old. He began by drawing and painting the people and landscapes of his native Brabant. In 1881, he moved to Paris, where he was exposed to the Impressionist and Post-Impressionist movements. His work during this period was influenced by the bright colors and loose brushwork of these movements. After moving to Arles in southern France in 1888, Van Gogh's work became more vibrant and expressive. He painted some of his most famous works during this period, including The Starry Night, Sunflowers, and The Bedroom. Van Gogh suffered from mental illness throughout his life. He had several breakdowns, and in 1889 he voluntarily admitted himself to a psychiatric hospital in St. Paul, Delaware, Mosul. He was released from the hospital in 1890, but he continued to struggle with his mental health. On July 27, 1890, Van Gogh went for a walk in the fields outside of Auvers-sur-Oise, where he was living at the time. He shot himself in the chest and died 2 days later. He was 37 years old. Van Gogh's work was not widely appreciated during his lifetime. He sold only one painting during his lifetime. However, his work became popular in the early 20th century, and he is now considered one of the most important painters of all time. His work is characterized by its bold colors, expressive brushwork, and emotional intensity. Georgia O'Keeffe was born on November 15, 1887, in a farmhouse in the town of Sun Prairie, Wisconsin. Her parents, Francis Calixtus O'Keeffe and Ida O'Keeffe, were dairy farmers. Georgia Totto O'Keeffe was an American modernist painter and draftswoman whose career spanned 7 decades and whose work remained largely independent of major art movements. Called the mother of American modernism, O'Keeffe gained international recognition for her meticulous paintings of natural forms, particularly flowers and desert-inspired landscapes, which were often drawn from and related to places and environments in which she lived. Georgia O'Keeffe had a prolific career and was already a legend in the 1920s, known as much for her independent spirit and female role model as for her dramatic and innovative works of art. Among her vast works portfolio are Jimson Weed, Bleeding Heart, and Blue Morning Glories. In 1991, PBS aired the American Playhouse production A Marriage, Georgia O'Keeffe and Alfred Stieglitz, starring Jane Alexander as O'Keeffe and Christopher Plummer as Alfred Stieglitz. On November 20, 2014, O'Keeffe's Jimson Weed White Flower No. 1 sold for $44,405,000 at auction to Walmart heiress Alice Walton, more than 3 times the previous world auction record for any female artist. She died on March 6, 1986, at the age of 98, in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Born in Paris on June 1, 1875, Landowski displayed an exceptional aptitude for art from a young age. His father, a doctor of Polish descent, and his mother, a descendant of the celebrated violinist Henri Vieuxtemps, nurtured his artistic inclinations, providing a stimulating environment for his creative pursuits. Throughout his illustrious career, Landowski produced an impressive body of work, showcasing his versatility and mastery of various sculptural techniques. Among Lewandowski's most celebrated creations is the iconic Christ the Redeemer statue, which stands atop Corcovado Mountain in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. Unveiled in 1931, the statue has become a symbol of hope and inspiration for millions around the globe. Another masterpiece of Lewandowski's artistry is the colossal statue of Sun Yat-sen, the founding father of the Republic of China. Situated in Nanjing, China, the statue stands as a testament to Lewandowski's ability to capture the essence of historical figures with grandeur and dignity. Paul Lewandowski's legacy extends far beyond his sculptures. His artistic vision, technical mastery, and unwavering commitment to his craft have inspired generations of artists and art enthusiasts. His name is etched among the pantheon of great sculptors, his creations serving as enduring testaments to the power of art to elevate, inspire, and connect humanity. Frédéric Auguste Bartholdi was a French sculptor and painter. He is best known for designing Liberty Enlightening the World, commonly known as the Statue of Liberty. Bartholdi was born in Colmar, France, on April 2, 1834. His father, Jean-Charles Bartholdi, was a property owner and councillor to the prefecture. His mother, Augusta Charlotte Bartholdi née Basser, was from a well-to-do family. In 1870, Bartholdi was commissioned to design a monument to commemorate the Franco-American Alliance of 1778. He decided to create a statue of a woman holding a torch, which he called Liberty Enlightening the World. The statue was a massive undertaking. It was built in France and then shipped to New York City in pieces. It was dedicated on October 28, 1886. The Statue of Liberty is one of the most famous landmarks in the world. It is a symbol of freedom and democracy, and it has inspired people around the world. Bartholdi died in Paris on October 4, 1904, at the age of 70. He is buried in the Père Lachaise Cemetery. Bartholdi is best remembered for the Statue of Liberty, but he was also a talented sculptor and painter. His work is characterized by its realism, elegance, and sense of grandeur. He is considered one of the most important French sculptors of the 19th century. Paul Jackson Pollock was an American painter and a major figure in the abstract expressionist movement. He developed his own technique known as action painting, which he described as a new way of expressing yourself. Jackson Pollock was born in Cody, Wyoming, on January 28, 1912. He was the youngest of 5 brothers. His parents, Stella May and Leroy Pollock, were both educators who instilled in him a strong sense of creativity and individualism. Pollock's work is often considered to be the epitome of abstract expressionism. This movement was characterized by its emphasis on emotional expression and spontaneity. Pollock's paintings were often large and chaotic, but they also had a sense of order and balance. Despite his artistic success, Pollock struggled with alcoholism and mental illness. He was arrested several times for drunk driving and was eventually institutionalized for a period of time. Pollock died in a car accident on August 11, 1956, at the age of 44. He was a complex and troubled man, but he was also a brilliant artist who left an indelible mark on the world of art. Pollock's work is now on display in major museums around the world. He is considered one of the most important American painters of the 20th century. Frida Kahlo was born Magdalena Carmen Frida Kahlo de Calderón on July 6, 1907, in Coyoacán, Mexico. She was a Mexican painter known for her many self-portraits and works inspired by the nature and artifacts of Mexico. Inspired by the country's popular culture, she employed a naive folk art style to explore questions of identity, post-colonialism, gender, class, and race in Mexican society. Her paintings often had strong autobiographical elements and mixed realism with fantasy. In addition to belonging to the post-revolutionary Mexicayotl movement, which sought to define a Mexican identity, Kahlo has been described as a surrealist or magical realist. She is also known for painting about her experience of chronic pain. Some of her most famous works include The Broken Column, Self-Portrait with Thorn Necklace and Hummingbird, and The Two Fridas, to name a few. Kahlo died on July 13, 1954, at the age of 47, in Coyoacán, Mexico. Her legacy continues to inspire people around the world with her bold and expressive art. Born François-Auguste René Rodin on November 12, 1840, in Paris, France, Rodin demonstrated artistic talent from a young age. Despite his aspirations, Auguste Rodin was rejected from the prestigious École des Beaux-Arts. Undeterred, he enrolled in the School of Decorative Arts, also known as the Petit École. He later became an assistant to the sculptor Albert Ernest Carrier-Belleuse, a professor at the École des Beaux-Arts. Although Rodin's work was initially rejected by the Salon, he eventually gained recognition and praise, establishing him as one of the most famous sculptors of his time. Rodin's first major success came in 1880 with his sculpture The Age of Bronze. This work, praised for its realism and lifelike detail, established him as a prominent figure in the art world. One of Rodin's most iconic sculptures is The Thinker, originally commissioned as part of the Gates of Hell. This monumental bronze figure, depicting a powerful male nude deep in contemplation, has become a universal symbol of intellectual effort and introspection. Rodin continued to create prolifically throughout his life, producing numerous sculptures, drawings, and paintings. He became a mentor to many young artists and established a museum devoted to his work in Paris, which now houses the world's largest collection of his sculptures. Rodin died on November 17, 1917, in Meudon, France. He is considered one of the most influential sculptors of the modern era, and his work continues to inspire and captivate audiences worldwide. Salvador Dalí was a Spanish surrealist painter, sculptor, printmaker, stage designer, writer, and filmmaker who had a profound impact on the 20th century art world. Known for his bizarre and dreamlike imagery, Dalí's work challenged conventional notions of reality and explored the depths of the subconscious mind. Born on May 11, 1904, in Figueres, Catalonia, Spain, Dalí showed an early aptitude for art. His parents, Salvador Dalí QC, a notary, and Felipa Domenech Ferrez, a housewife, encouraged his artistic talents. Dalí studied at the prestigious Academia de San Fernando in Madrid, but he was expelled in 1922 for his rebellious behavior and unorthodox artistic views. In the 1920s, Dalí moved to Paris, where he became immersed in the Surrealist movement, a group of artists who sought to express the unconscious mind through their art. Dalí's adoption of Surrealism marked a turning point in his artistic career, as he began to explore the depths of his own psyche and the world of dreams. Dalí's most famous works include The Persistence of Memory 1931, a painting that depicts melting clocks amidst a desolate landscape, and The Dream 1931, another dreamlike scene featuring distorted figures and surreal objects. Dalí was not only an artistic genius but also a flamboyant and eccentric personality. He cultivated a public image that was as provocative and surreal as his art, often appearing in outrageous costumes and making controversial statements. His eccentric persona became an integral part of his artistic brand, further solidifying his place in the art world. Dalí returned to Spain in the 1940s and continued to paint until his death in 1989. His work remains highly influential and is on display in museums around the world. Dalí is considered one of the most important artists of the 20th century, and his legacy continues to inspire and fascinate art enthusiasts worldwide. Oscar Claude Monet was born on November 14, 1840, in Paris, France. His family moved to Le Havre, Normandy, when he was 5 years old. Monet showed an early aptitude for art, and he began drawing and painting at a young age. His parents encouraged his artistic pursuits, and he spent much of his childhood sketching outdoors. In 1863, Monet moved to Paris to pursue his artistic career. He became acquainted with other young artists, who shared his interest in painting outdoors and capturing the fleeting effects of light and color. Together, these artists formed the core of the Impressionist movement, which revolutionized the art world in the late 19th century. Impressionist paintings are characterized by their loose brushwork, vibrant colors, and emphasis on capturing the momentary effects of light and atmosphere. Monet's most famous work, Impression, Sunrise 1872, is considered the namesake painting of the Impressionist movement. The painting depicts a hazy view of the Le Havre harbor at sunrise, with the sun's rays dissolving the forms of the boats and buildings. In the 1880s, Monet settled in Giverny, a small village northwest of Paris. He purchased a house and property with a large garden, where he created a series of ponds and planted water lilies. These water lilies became the focus of his artistic obsession for the rest of his life. Monet's water lily paintings are characterized by their tranquil atmosphere, soft colors, and delicate brushwork. He painted the water lilies from various perspectives, capturing their subtle changes in color and form as the seasons progressed. Claude Monet died on December 5, 1926, in Giverny, at the age of 86. He is considered one of the most important figures in the history of Western art. His work has had a profound influence on modern painting, and he continues to inspire artists and art lovers around the world. Thank you YouTubers for visiting our Trivia Central channel at Zaire916. We do hope you enjoyed both the trivia game and the artists' biographies of this episode. If so, please do consider giving us a like and or subscribing to our channel. It will help us to continue providing engaging and informative content. Until next we meet, do stay well.